Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Stinchfield. Black Lives Matter is nothing but trouble. The organization that inspired riots, looting, and arsonistic behavior has been busted through its own tax filings, writing checks to family members of BLM founder Patrisse Cullors, big checks too. $970,000 to the father of Cullors' child for, quote, creative services. Her brother got $840,000 for security services. A consulting firm run by BLM's board secretary got $2.1 million for providing Black Lives Matter with operations support and, quote, other key services. That's all directly out of their tax filings from 2020. So you might think I'm going to call out Black Lives Matter for, I don't know, misuse of funds or excessive spending on luxury items like that $6.5 million house in Los Angeles. Nope, not going to do it. You know why? Because I expected this behavior from BLM. In fact, I warned about it. Why would you be surprised that an organization built on a hands up, don't shoot lie would engage in excessive spending? You shouldn't be surprised. The whole organization is fake news. So here's who I am going to scold. White liberals. White liberals overcome with their perceived white privilege, their all-out quest to feel good about themselves and somehow ease their own white guilt, to virtue signal to their friends and neighbors. These are the people that need scolding. These blind liberal zombies. There is no doubt in my mind they are the ones who funded the $90 million haul for BLM in 2020. $90 million from mostly white, ultra-woke, ultra-Biden ding-dongs. They watch Black Lives Matter inspire rioters. Not once did I ever hear the leaders of BLM, the movement there, apologize for the death and destruction. Billions upon billions of dollars of destruction across America. Countless injuries and deaths. No apology from BLM for any of it. And yet, white liberal Americans line the pockets of the organization that pushed nothing but division in this country. You know why they pushed division? They did it because they profited off it. Clearly. Listen to some of the worst from Cullors.
We actually do have an ideological frame. We are trained Marxists.
Phase one of the plan, which is what are the first few things we can decriminalize, that we can make no longer illegal? When we have these conversations about what we do with white supremacists, what do we do with vigilantes, what do we do with law enforcement, this current system of accountability, the criminal legal system, it doesn't actually get us to the place where we want to get to. It doesn't transform the communities that we're in.
What do we do with the Black Lives Matter rioters and Antifa goons that wreaked havoc on society and were never arrested? Shouldn't ask that question. See, Cullors preyed on white guilt. I've been warning you for years the BLM movement is about money first, division second, and nothing to do with racial justice. Walk through the most privileged neighborhoods in America and you will see BLM yard signs. Listen to me. If you have one in your yard, remove it. You have been duped. Patrisse Cullors denies any wrongdoing here. Listen to her explain her own tax filings to the people who gave her all that money.
No, I have never used Black Lives Matter donations to pay for any of the properties that I owned in the past or own right now. It's been a really bizarre experience to know the truth and to have false and misinformation be spread about me, especially around my own personal resources that I've worked my ass off to attain.
Look, I'm just taking it out of the tax filings. That's it. Here's more proof that they were spending a lot of money. Patrisse Cullors, according to the IRS filing, used BLM money to pay a $73,000 charter flight. Does the leader of a nonprofit need a private jet? So here's the reality. I'm not sure Patrisse Cullors did anything illegal. She may have, she might not have, I don't know. Sure looks excessive, that's for sure. Maybe she needs congratulations, though, for running one of the most successful marketing campaigns in American history. They ought to study this in universities across the country. $90 million. So if you donated to Black Lives Matter, you probably aren't smart enough to even feel taken advantage of. But you were, and we warned you.